Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to my live. Hope you all had a great day. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's A Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Chalk Couture. And tonight we'll be doing a fun little project using some napkins, these Chalk Couture house cutouts, and some trusty old Mod Podge. But first I'm going to share it to my Facebook group. So hold on just a moment while I get that shared. So once you hop onto the live, go ahead and say hi and tell me where you're watching from. That would be great. I would appreciate it. If I can figure out what I'm doing over here. Okay. Groups. So how was everyone's Tuesday? I hope you've all had a great day. Okay. Hello, Jason and Chris from Minnesota. Thanks for watching. Love you, miss you. Hope to see you soon. Hope everything goes well tomorrow, and I love you a lot. I am using an online platform called StreamYard, and it does not tell me who's coming on, so the only way I know that you're here is if you say hi in the comments, so please do so. If you happen to hear me refer to somebody's comment and you don't see it in your feed, that might be because I am live on multiple platforms. Right now I am live in my Facebook business page, and I'm also live on my YouTube channel at Robin's A Blue Creations. So just wanted to clarify that I am live on multiple locations. Also, if you're watching from my Facebook group, the Crafty Collab, make sure that you give StreamYard permission to use your profile pic and your profile pic and your name. Otherwise, you'll just show up in my comments as Facebook user, and I won't be able to see who you are. So make sure you do that as well. Again, say hi in the comments, and we will go ahead and get started with the project. So I have never done this. I have seen it done a few times, but I've never personally done it myself. So let's hope it's not a flop. But what we're going to be doing is heat decoupaging these napkins onto these houses with dry Mod Podge and a small iron. And then we're also going to be using these transfers on top of the napkins. So let's get started. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of Mod Podge into, forgot I hadn't opened this yet, into one of these little trays, just because I can't get my brush into the container. And if you hear anything in the background, the dogs are going crazy. Don't mind them. So I'm just going to take my brush and I'm just going to apply the Mod Podge fairly generously. I think that's good. So what's going to happen is we're going to dry this Mod Podge, and then we'll put the napkins on top of the dry layer, and then we'll use a little travel iron to heat activate the Mod Podge, and it like magically reactivates the Mod Podge to where the napkin is adhered to the house cutout. Again, haven't done it, seen it done, appears to work. So let's cross our fingers. think I've got pretty much on there. Okay. So I'm going to dry this with my quick dry tool. So Jason, how's the weather up in Minnesota? Let's see a spot that I missed. It's hard to tell if I missed spots or if those spots are already dry. Jason says super humid, high 80s, but feels close to 100. Well, at least it's in the 80s. It's 98 here right now in Fuzz. But today is supposed to be the coolest day of the rest of the week, so there's that. That one's close to dry. Yep, the computer says it's 98. I'm just drying the second one. Tell me in the comments if you prefer buffalo plaid or if you're a leopard person. So, tomorrow's supposed to be the hottest day in Minnesota, then it gets back into the 80s. I think it's supposed to be 80s early next week. Okay. It's still pretty dry. So supposedly this next part is the hardest part of the whole process, and that's separating the plies from each other, because most of these napkins are either a 2-ply or a 3-ply, and you want to peel that back ply off. So that's going to be the fun part. Oh. Let's see if we can get a little help here. I know it's totally disgusting, but I can feel the 2-ply, but I can't. Oh. Aha. Got it. So you just peel the 2 plies apart. You don't need that part. So then we'll do the buffalo plaid one. Here comes a doggy. Let's see. So I'm kind of rolling my fingers toward the middle. See if I can get this parts to separate. It was easier on the first one. That was Luna. Luna came in. Yeah, that's not going to work. These napkins are embossed around the edge, and so you definitely can't get the 2-ply off around the edge. There, if you kind of roll your fingers a little bit, I can feel I'm also just getting the napkin really wet. Let's try it over here. Well, just wadding up the napkin more than anything. Oh, I almost had it. Well, we'll get there eventually. I may need to go through another napkin, but well, cue the Jeopardy music. Okay, well, we'll just do the leopard one for right now. So I'm just going to lay it down, and you can use parchment paper. I'm going to try it without, and then you just take an iron, and I just have a little travel iron here, and the heat is supposed to reactivate that Mod Podge. And I can feel that it's stuck. Read it. So I'm going to lift and see if it's stuck everywhere. So I'm just lifting up the edges. I think I might go one more time. I'm going to go around the edges really good. And these corners. And then sanding. And then if you take a little sanding block and rub down, it just separates from the surface. So you can see it's already falling off. And there we go. One leopard print house cutout. Kudos to whoever figured that out the first time. I don't know how people figured that out. It's pretty dang cool. Let's see if we can get this one to separate. So what's for dinner? Anybody got any great dinner ideas? No. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cut this embossed edge off and see if I can get to the layers that way. I think I can. Huh. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So if you cut that embossed edge out of the way, it frees up an edge so you can get. I just figured out my own hack. So this one will be slightly wrinkled, but hopefully the iron will get some of that out. And with this pattern, I think I'll have to be a little bit more cognizant of direction. So we'll just iron it on again. And I can kind of iron out all those little wrinkles. Man, that's pretty slick, if I do say so myself. It like instantly just sticks down. Guess who's going to be buying more napkins at the Hobby Lobby? Okay. let's check and make sure that that's stuck. So I'm just pulling it up around all the edges and the corners. This little corner over here needs a little bit of help. It's hot. Okay, so we'll sand around the edges to release the excess napkin. And you can paint the back side and the sides. You can sand the edges and the back side. You can re-chalk on the back side. So again, these all can be double-sided. So like I could put buffalo plaid and a general transfer on here, and I could put buffalo plaid and maybe a Halloween transfer on here. Okay, so we're done with that. And then I'm going to grab, after I find my little lid, but maybe I'll have to, oh, there it is. I'm going to grab my wax. I'm going to put a little bit of wax on the surface just to make sure that my transfer doesn't pull up all my napkin that and I think I'm just going to use my fingers. Hopefully that doesn't smear the print. Nope, I'm going to use the cloth. I think it works better. Ah! Luna just about knocked down all my cords and my computer. Don't mind her, she's running around like a wild banshee, which she usually does this time of night. This one may bleed a little bit. We'll see. I don't know. I think it's, that kind of gives it a little bit of character. Yeah, the black's kind of, so now the white is a little gray, but I don't mind. You probably could seal over it again with Mod Podge. Maybe we'll try that again later. Okay. So I think in the cart link that is in the description, I have Dibs on Forever with You. And this, I don't know if that one's going to fit. Nope, that one's not going to fit. I did have This House Was Clean yesterday, but it doesn't quite fit on there. So I think we'll do Cook, Eat, Pray on this one. And then I'm going to do this one for our bedroom. And I'm going to use, we'll see if eucalyptus shows up. And then I think I'll do teal on the black and white buffalo plaid. So we'll see if that works. So I'm going to get my fuzz towel out. And I haven't used this transfer, so I'm going to write on the back of the carrier sheet that it's called Dibs on Forever. And I'm doing that because these transfers are reusable. So after I clean this transfer, I'm going to want to make sure, one, I get it on the correct backer sheet, and two, I get it on the correct side of the backer sheet. Because once I clean this, I can use this about 8 to 12 times depending on how well I take care of it. And this one I've already used, so it has already been written on. So these are sticky back transfers, and they are, some of them are super sticky. So I'm going to fuzz this transfer, and that means I'm just putting it on a terry cloth towel, or I can even use my shirt. Just, I want to put it on something that's going to get a little bit of lint so it's not as sticky. And I think I'm going to do it a couple more times just because this is on paper. that was part of the reason that we waxed, was to put a barrier between the paper layer and the sticky layer. So hopefully it doesn't stick as bad, because it could pull up your paper if you didn't fuzz it. So I'm just lining it up. And then I'm just going to rub wherever the clear or white spaces are, because that's where my silk screen is. Probably can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so then I'm going to open my Couture Teal chalk paste. And this is the new formula, so it's the creamy dreamy formula. So I'm just going to grab a squeegee, and I'm going to get some chalk paste out of my jar, and then I'm going to apply it by pressing it into the silk screen material. And because it's the new formula, it's not supposed to dry as fast on the transfer, so you have a little bit more work time. So I'm just making sure everything's covered, and then I'm going to put my excess back in the jar, and then I'm going to kind of smooth out all of those squeegee lines. I'm going to grab a little mess tray right here. So then I'm going to peel this slowly, because I don't want to peel up my napkin. And I did peel up my napkin. Yeah. Oopsie. I may have needed to apply a little bit more Mod Podge. Next time I think I'll put a layer of Mod Podge down. But I'm not worried. The napkin will come off in the water when I clean it. Well, that would have been pretty if it would have stayed on there. Maybe we'll let this dry and I'll try it again on the other side. Let's see what happens. It wasn't a total epic fail, but it pulled up there and then it pulled up right here. So we'll see what happens on the next one. And this one is brand new, so it's going to need to be fuzzed a lot. Oops, wrong towel. Once again, if you're hopping on, hey Amanda, how are you? I was just going to say, if you're hopping on, make sure you say hi so I know who's here. I heat decoupaged napkins onto these house cutouts. And because we boo-booed, I'll redo this one so y'all can see that process. So I'm really going to fuzz this one up because it's super sticky. Oh, you're okay, Amanda. I know it was dinner time, but I had to go on a little early tonight because I have things to do later. But I didn't want to miss out on the live, because once I stop, I probably won't ever get back on. This is kind of how I work. I'm going to make sure it looks fairly straight. So I'm just going to try to rub where the silk screen is. And hopefully, oops, there's an air bubble. Okay, so we're going to use eucalyptus. Hey, Christy, how are you? Thanks. I can't say that the idea is original, but it's kind of weird how it works. So what I did is I put, this chalk paste needs some stirring. I put a layer of Mod Podge down on the house, and then I let that dry completely, and then I peeled this is the back layer of the napkin. So I peeled the 2 layers apart, and then you just put the printed layer on your house, and then I just used a travel iron. You can use an easy press, and heated it up, and it reactivates the Mod Podge, and it sticks the napkin down to the house. But this one, when I peeled it up, it peeled off. It peeled right there, and it peeled. So I don't know if I didn't use enough Mod Podge. I don't know. So we're kind of experimenting. So this paste is a little lumpy. I think it was one of those winter shipments and it froze, but it'll still work. It's just a little lumpy, but so I'm just spreading it on, kind of like it's butter on toast. And we'll see what happens. Now I'm going to pull this off slowly. I think we're not supposed to pull like this, but I think it'll help. You should be pulling up like at a 90-degree angle. But I think this will, and you can't see it. It's cute, but you can't see it. It didn't pull up, but it's really hard to see. I don't know if you can see it that way a little bit, but it's really hard to see. It's cute, but it's really hard to see. I don't know if maybe silver would look better, but fun process. Put that in there. So I'll dry this and see what happens. And then I'm going to dry this one, and just so I can work on the back. If I can peel some of that off. No, it's hardly stuck at all. I'm just peeling this off. I don't really need to. I could just flip it around, which I should probably do so I'm not wasting your all's time. Got a weird message on my screen. Okay. So we'll just flip it over and we'll just kind of redo the process again. So I have my plain house cutout here. And I just have some matte Mod Podge. I'm just going to pour some into my color tray. I'm going to pour a lot into my color tray. So I'm just going to wipe it on. I might do a little more this time and see what happens. I might even try to seal that one and see what happens. We'll just experiment a bit. Okay, so I have all of that covered. Oops, I don't want to do that. Okay, so we'll dry this. So make sure to sprinkle the video, hit that heart button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my Facebook page, all that fun stuff. That would be greatly appreciated. And I'd love your time. So I'm just going to dry this. Not dry yet. Still wet. Hey, little tuna. Okay. Now you get to watch me. I'll have to grab another napkin. Let me snag another napkin. So we can do a buffalo plaid one. And we'll test out my theory. So I discovered that these particular napkins that are 2-ply, I don't know if you can see, they have some embossing right here. So they're literally embossed together. But if you cut that apart at the edge of that embossing, then you can get to you can separate the 2-plies a little easier. At least that worked on the last napkin. Yep, I just need my detail tool again. So I just use the pokey end of my detail tool. Let's see if I can. Yep, there we go. There. I can't get I can see where it. There we go. So then you want to pull the 2-plies apart carefully. And then I'm going to line up my pattern. Just so it's not mainly just, you just don't want it to go diagonal. I mean, unless you really want it to go diagonal. Looks pretty good. So I'm just going to grab my iron. I'm just going to apply heat. And a disclaimer, you may want to use parchment paper. I've seen it done with and without parchment paper, but you just want to apply heat and it reactivates that Mod Podge underneath. Uh-oh, I tore it. That's okay. I'm going to turn that up a little bit. See. Let's see if I can fix that. Nope. they'll just have to be torn there a little bit. These are experiments. Okay, there. Press that on a little bit. I think my dogs are up to no good. Okay, so then we're just going to take, you can take a sanding block, a nail file, whatever you have, and you want to sand down, and it just releases that excess from the edge. And then you're left with a clean cutout. So this time, just going to tear a little, see if I can fix this piece a little bit. Stick it this way. So we can match the kind of. So I think this time I'm going to test the layer of Mod Podge to see. We may just be making a big but gigantic mess, which I just did. I got it all over everything, including my other one. Another night for a hot mess mama. Okay, let's dry this and see what happens. So what's everybody eating for dinner? Inspire me, because I haven't had dinner yet. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. It's really sticky. They're pretty just kind of like this, without any design on them. Okay. Try that. This may lead to another epic disaster, but we'll see. So, since I already used that one and it's dirty, we'll do leftovers or for quitters. So I'm going to fuzz it, especially since I have that layer of Mod Podge on. Let's see what happens. I'm going to fuzz it quite a few times. Okay, let's see what that does. So we'll try to line it up if we can. So we'll open our paste again. Grab another squeegee. And I'm just going to dip my paste in my jar. And we're just going to press it on into that silk screen, just like we're buttering toast. Frosting a cake. And we'll put the excess back in. And I'll just smooth everything out. And we'll see what happens. It pulled it up a little, but I'm able to smush it back down. And I just smeared everything. I think it would do better if you let it sit for a while instead of chalking on it immediately. But I ain't got time for that. Okay, I think that works. You know, it does kind of. I must have had some on my fingers or something. So there's that one. It says leftovers are for quitters. So I'm going to dry that one before I make a huge mess. So we did the leftovers are for quitters, and then this one is really cute, but it is really hard to see. It says dibs on forever with you. I may want to, I don't know if I want to go over it with maybe some silver, but it's super cute. So there were some polka dot napkins at Hobby Lobby that looked really cute, which I think would be great for Halloween. They had a white background with black polka dots and a black background with white polka dots. And then I would just always be on the lookout for napkins. So 2 great little simple projects. And again, I can flip these over and do the back with either napkins or something else, or you can paint the back sides and the sides and chalk something else completely. Very versatile. Very, very versatile. Okay, so that's my quick little project for this evening. I thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great weekend. Love you. Bye-bye. See you later.